All right, tricksters. So you've been watching my videos about how to get better at this game. And you've been learning about how to get better with one character, how that's like the fastest way to improve with these games. Whether it's Tekken, Street Fighter, League of Legends, whatever game you're playing. If you focus on one character, you will get better at the fastest rate, in my opinion. Now, it's not the only way to get better. It's not the only way to get better fast. Another way to get better fast is to play the whole cast. And for some people, this is preferable because they can't really spend all their time on one character. Either because they get bored, maybe they don't know who they want to play yet, maybe they just have no idea what these characters feel like and they just want to get a variety of experiences across the cast to really get a good sense of what everyone plays like. So there are a lot of reasons why you, as a new player, might want to play the whole cast at some point in time or another. Instead of playing one character, go all in and see how good you can get with that one person. Okay, so I'm going to have different recommendations for different levels of players. And I'm going to also tell you some of the pitfalls that you have to really be aware of when you are a multi-character, non-specialist general player. And I'm going to tell you, if you're a player who's been playing these games for a while, and you are inclined to play the whole cast, how can you go about doing this in a way that will not stunt your growth and actually make your main character stronger? Or you don't have any main character and you just like to play everybody or a variety of characters. I'm going to give you the tips for all of those situations. Let's start with the beginner. Beginner players, they don't know anything yet. They really have to just get a vibe for all the characters. And really, the goal for them, if you're one of those kinds of players, is to play a character until you have a feeling of like, this is how it feels to play this person. This is how it feels to press these buttons. This is how it feels to respond to my opponent responding to my options. You want to just get a vibe and get a sense of, well, how does this character operate? And once you understand that, you can move on to the next character. And eventually you will learn the cast, the whole cast, and you'll also have a good sense of who you like, whose buttons, whose combos, whose mix-ups feel most comfortable for you and your style of play. That's our beginner. Next kind of player here is our not veteran, but they've been playing fighting games. They're not new to this. They might even have a main right now, but they might have like 2 or 3 mains. Now, this is a very hard route to go. That's why I don't say it's the fastest route, but it can be highly efficient if you are mindful of how you go about switching characters. So how do you do that? Well, one of the ways is by making sure you, like the beginner, understand fundamentally how this character operates and how this character might complement your other characters in your arsenal. This is someone who has about maybe 3-4 characters that they rotate between for different matchups. Perhaps they might want to have a matchup spread that's more balanced in a game that has more enforceable tiers. That's one reason. Another reason would be if you just have a hard time sticking to one character and you're not really sure, but you know you like this group of characters. Or maybe they're similar enough, but different in enough ways that it's meaningful. This player won't have too hard of a time, really. They can basically use the same methods that you would use if you were focusing on one character. The only caveat here being is that it will take them longer. It will take you longer than someone who specialized in one of those characters to get as competent as them, because you're now spreading yourself across multiple characters. That can be fine, but just know what you're getting into. You're not going to learn the intricacies of the matchups as quickly. You're not going to learn a lot of like really random esoteric things that are going to take place because you don't specialize with the character. But you will have a more balanced matchup spread, so you might not need that heightened knowledge. Depends on what characters you're picking. Now, this third kind of player is the one I'd caution the most about this approach. And this person just gets bored, or they feel like they've hit a plateau with one of the characters they've been learning. That player needs to be very careful about what they consider to be a plateau. When you play many characters and you just kind of switch when you feel like you hit a wall, you're going to go to another character and hit another wall. And then you're going to go to another character and hit another wall, another wall, another wall, another wall. You're going to keep hitting walls because you're not grappling with the fundamental weaknesses that you have as a player. And different characters, like archetypes, emphasize different skill sets in their players. They reward certain ways of playing, certain ways of approaching the game more than others. So if you really go about learning a character enough to have whatever skill that that character really emphasizes for you or across players, learn that. Don't swap to the next character until you've learned that, until you've mastered that aspect of the game. It might mean it's more footsie based, might be more, combo based, might be more frame trap. I don't know specifics because it can be anything, but I've seen this enough where players will swap too often and too quickly because they think they've hit a wall, but really they get stuck across all the characters because they're not dealing with the fundamental issues they have as a player, and they think playing another character will fix that problem for them, but it doesn't. It doesn't fix the problem at all. They just have a band-aid and the problem comes right back, but it looks different. And because it looks a little different, they never quite figure out what the problem is. They just think they're not good. That's not the issue. Not that you're not good. It's your training approach is not efficient. So we're still focusing here on the efficiency of your practice and of your play. So if you practice efficiently, you will get better faster. Whether you go about a less efficient model, which I think playing multiple characters will do. Another benefit of playing multiple characters, let's say you have a main, you're really good at the main, but you're like having a hard time with some other matchups. You have no intention of playing these other characters seriously. You want to play multiple characters because it just feels good, makes you, keep boredom at bay. This player can go into other characters without the goal of saying, I'm going to master this character. You're going to go in to master what this character does, how they do their game plan, and perhaps take some of what that other character emphasizes and bring it back to your main, skill set wise. That's a really valuable skill. You're going to learn more matchups more deeply. You're going to understand how other character pilots, people who pilot other characters, are thinking about things. And you might find that you're going to end up thinking about things completely differently now when you go back to your main, because you never thought about having to deal with some situations that your main doesn't have to deal with, because they might have some random unique mechanic that they can use to get out of stuff like size of AOP. So this fourth player who has no intention of being a multi-character specialist, they are basically playing the rest of the cast to learn matchups better inside their mind, and they're going to balance out their knowledge of the game, balance out their skill set as a player, so that they aren't so peaky in certain aspects of play and just more even. That's another way of getting there, by playing multiple characters. I hope you have found this helpful in your mastering fighting games and perhaps other types of games too. This could apply to Overwatch. It can apply to Valorant. It can apply to, learning a new gun loadout in CSGO. It can apply to League of Legends, learning another, lane, another hero who plays a certain role, right? This isn't unique to fighting games at all. This is a way of mastering any hero-based or character-based game where there are options. And if you missed my original video about mastering fighting games, you should go over here, right there. There. It'll be right there. Yeah. All right. Enjoy it.